Let's get it into the show, y'all. Again, it's July the 12th of 86. And the opening of the show, we are not in the studio for this week's NWA Saturday Night on TBS. We're at the Dorton Arena. Shivani updates us on how many more dates are still left in the bash. And apparently this is there is a new bald-headed geek, as he tells us at the beginning of the episode. And then Cornette comes in, and he's back on commentary, hijacking the show. Doc, I kind of do have a question for you and Harper at the top. We're not in studio. What did you think?
About what?
Just not being in studio, because we remember these for the studio, not necessarily the live arena. Although I thought this had a nice feel to it, even though we're in the live arena.
Well, let me tell you something, pal. They kept showing it from the ground up, and you could see that big window in the background.
Yeah,
that was a cool looking ass building, dude.
Especially for back then.
No shit. And I mean I thought that was fucking fantastic. If you put on a good wrestling show, I don't care where you do it, but that shit looked really awesome, architecturally speaking. So I know now you're gonna say, well, that's where Tim Moretti went to go watch wrestling. I don't give a shit about that.
He rehearsed that, Tim. He rehearsed it.
I don't give a shit about that. I just care that this shit was visually appealing to my wonderful eyes.
You know what I liked about it, Harper?
That
the building was packed.
Yeah, it was.
And sweaty. You could see the old ladies fanning themselves so their onion crotch wouldn't waft up into the ring.
The what?
Huh?
That building was packed, dude. And Doc and I were texting about this. Imagine that. They used to go to that place once a month, sometime twice a month. And
make money. And make money.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Where was that at?
It's the Dorton Arena in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. I think I looked it up. Think about a 8,000 seat arena. But
really?
that sucker was packed, man.
House. Not a bad seat in that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's real good.
Those seats are still available.
Yeah.
When you go to like UNO and those 8,000 seat arenas, man, to me, once you've been in one, you've been in all of them. But that one looked very different
because of the window. I mean, it had that. It had a really cool. I like that. I did because you imagine during the day the sun's shining through. Man, you got some natural light coming through. Totally agree. You're right. You go to Lakefront Arena because I went there for wrestling back in the day. I mean, if you've been to an arena like that, you've been to you've been to one. You've been to all.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, we get into the show. We got the match. It's the first matchup is Warlord versus Gene Ligon, and again, we get the first really good shot of the arena there. And again, packed to the gills. Very quick victory for the Warlord. Warlord wins with ease. Harper, did you have anything from the match?
Is this before or after Skip Summer, the skydiving champion?
That was after, because they showed that at the very beginning, didn't they?
That guy was fucking awesome. I got his autograph. I met him once at Comic-Con.
So random. Okay. All right. That's your wrestling analysis. That's what you get on BTT.
Yeah.
Doc, what about you? Anything from that?
Well, to go back a bit, I'd rather fight the Warlord in a worked match than Garvin. So, yeah, he's green as shit, but who cares, man? At least I'm not going to get my ass stretched.
Yeah.
It'll be over quick.
No doubt about that. So after that match, we roll into what's causing all this is coming out. Off top, starting the show. Again, Jim Cornette is hosting. He's going to be interviewing the heels on this episode. So here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now I want to call in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And Rick, a lot of people don't have the confidence in you that I do, and they think tonight in Jacksonville against the American Dream could be the biggest challenge of all the great American bashes.
Well, Jim Cornette, first of all, let me be the first to congratulate you on your new position at Jim Crockett Promotions. I like seeing a man out here who's got some class and some knowledge of the greatest sport in the world, and you're right where you ought to be, right here, lending your expertise. As for Jacksonville, Florida, tonight, Dusty Rhodes, you've worn this on 2 different occasions. You've been the man in the state of Florida for 10 years. But tonight, punk, and I'm calling you a punk because that's what you'll be when I walk across that Gator Bowl, looking as only I can look. The most difficult decision in my mind is going to be which girl of the 40,000 there am I going to run over to the Holiday Inn after I humiliate you and beat you right in the middle of the ring in Jacksonville, Florida. You see, Jim Cornette, they're throwing, as the whole world knows, the 14 best at me. And now, Dusty Rhodes, the road looks a lot better because I've been through 4 of them now, going to be through 5 of them. I am Ric Flair. I am the greatest of all time. I am the world's heavyweight wrestling champion. And Dusty Rhodes, more than anything else, I want to hear it from your own lips. When it's all over, August 2nd, I want Dusty Rhodes to stand on national television and say, yes, Ric Flair is the greatest world champion of all time. Woo!
All right, Doc, you first.
So, Menace, you know what the old term, we all think of punk as in punk rock, but you are aware of what the term punk used to mean, correct?
Oh, when Rick's saying it right there, yes.
Which is?
I'm not going to insult our diverse listeners.
Diverse? You kidding me?
It's a bunch of mouth-breathing pillow biters.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Cheeto dust warriors.
God damn. Damn, Doc.
What?
What do you mean Cheeto dust? What the fuck's that supposed to mean? I don't get that reference. Anyway. I really don't. I don't. What are you getting at?
When you sit around eating Cheetos all day, no matter how hard you wash your hands, you still got that orange Cheeto dust on it.
Okay. Well, if you say so. All right. Yeah. Proceed, please.
Man, Ric Flair's telling Dusty he takes it in the ass as soon as he walks down the aisle.
That's not what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Okay.
That's what being a punk meant back in the day.
Well,
what do you think?
Okay. All right. Maybe so, but still, he didn't say it like that. He just called him a punk.
I thought it was.
And then, here's the thing, bro. That didn't necessarily mean that. That's what he was. He wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to start.
You know
shit,
how
dude.
you say I play. You know how you say I play heel. Mm-hmm. Well, now you're just playing idiot.
Okay.
So here's the thing. There's a couple of things that were awesome here. First of all, giving Cornette a due to give him the rub was awesome. Then he was like acknowledging that Dusty held the world strap twice, which is nice. But then he went back and kind of multi-layered and said, "You've been a big deal down in the state of Florida for 10 years. And that's great and all, but I'm the fucking world champ. And that's what you're not going to be. So fuck off."
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
And then I just wonder if there were why was the Holiday Inn the best lodging he could find in Jacksonville? But whatever.
They may have been a sponsor. Who knows? They might have been why he said that. I don't know. Harper, what'd you have? Anything else?
Yeah, he pointed out, Dusty had all these accomplishments, but they don't mean shit because he ain't fucking Ric Flair. Fuck you.
Pretty much. Yeah, he just didn't say fuck you. So I'm the only one who caught that. Rick said his biggest decision will be which one of the 40,000 rats he's going to take home.
Which one?
Rick, we've only sold 8,300 tickets so far.
Woo! Well, the thing was, like, he's Ric Flair. Why wouldn't he bring them all home, no matter if there's 8,500 or 40,000? We just, I don't even want to go there. I don't know about something I heard on a podcast today. Evidently, Ric Flair jerks off twice a day.
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard that?
No.
So Doc, let me just give you the background on it. Doc was like, man, I listened to that Jim Ross podcast, 30 for 30, the guy that produced the Ric Flair 30 for 30 that's coming out in like a week and a half. And I was like, I don't know if I want to listen to it. I'm just not big on JR's podcast, especially when he doesn't have like wrestling people on. I'm like, I'll pass, and I haven't listened to JR religiously for a long time. Nothing against him. It's just, not my thing. Well, I listened to it today, and the guy's talking about how unique Rick is and how good of a guy he is, and he goes, man, Rick said one of the things he said in the film, and it just shocked me, and just like I just was like, what? He said he masturbates twice a day, even to this day. What? What? Okay. So I messaged at the doc. I go, did you hear this dude say Rick masturbates twice a day, even to this day? And what was your response to me, Doc? I don't even remember what you said.
He's the world champ at everything.
So I was like, good God.
Up to and including all things. I don't know why you're so sexually repressed and weird about everything. People beat off. That's what they do. Monkeys fling their poo at the wall. People beat off. What's the problem?
Man, have you ever seen that video of that fucking chimpanzee in the zoo that slung a pile of shit at the kids?
Yeah. I fucking love that shit. Fuck you, kids.
Dump in his hands and just flung it at him. That's real classy. Anyway, okay, so we go from Rick to now the Horsemen are up. So let's listen to what the Horsemen have to say.
Ole and Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, James J. Dillon, Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And, you know, guys, I was just thinking, how awesome would it be if all four of you were in the ring at the same time? It's sort of an 8-man tag team type of thing, huh?
Well, I tell you what, they'd have to put up some pretty heavy money because I can't imagine 4 people getting in the ring against the 4 horse. I can't imagine 8 guys getting in against us. I can't imagine anybody in their right mind getting in against us. But I can't imagine this. I can imagine that sometime during '86, Dusty Rhodes is going to take his tights, all of his wrestling gear, and put it outside the door of one of these buildings around the country with a sign on it that says, I quit. Rhodes, one way or another, we're going to get rid of you, and it's going to take place this year. Mark on it.
You know, guys, being part of the 4 Horsemen, everywhere you go, all over the country, the people say, the Horsemen are coming, and all the women go crazy. But, you know, you start talking about the people we've done in. You go talk to Dusty Rhodes and ask him about his leg. You go ask Ronnie Garvin about his hand. You go ask the Road Warriors who dropped him right on top of their heads and left them laying. And the list goes on. So what 4 men are capable of getting in the ring with the 4 Horsemen? Huh? You answer.
What do you think, Arn?
Cornette, when these batches started, I told you, we had the gold to begin with. When the batches are over, we will continue to have it. Gentlemen, anybody out there watching, we're a unit. The 4 Horsemen are not 4 individuals. And last but not least, I don't want to say I told you so. I don't want to blow our own horn, but toot, toot. We are still recipients and owners of all the trophies. We make it happen in professional wrestling. Tell them, champ. You see, Jim Cornette, in the case of the 4 Horsemen, you have got brains. You have got wealth. You have a tremendous amount of brawn. And ladies, let me assure you, there's not a gelding in the bunch. We are the studs in professional wrestling. We are the men that get it done. And we tell you we're going to be somewhere and we're going to beat somebody up. Then you know what? Put it in the bank because we'll be there and we're going to beat somebody up.
Let's go back to the ring.
All right, Harper, I'll let you go first. What you think?
I love fucking Tully when he points out all the big name guys that have gotten in their way and he fucked up every damn one of them. So what makes you any fucking different? Fuck you.
I agree. Doc, what about you?
I don't want to sound redundant, but that's 100% right. Tully was motherfucking on it. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick was a little bit different. Like, you know, Rick is usually the one that's going to give you the we're out styling and profiling and banging bitches and drinking kamikazes. But even he's like, if we tell you we're going to be somewhere and beat somebody up, we're going to be there and beat somebody up. They mean business.
Well, and then too, Rick, you think about it too, Rick got all this stuff in a minute ago. So,
right.
You know, he was kind of, you know, he was letting them get their stuff in at that point. But I agree. Friggin', dude, Tully's just a prick, but he's not lying either, and that Tully's just great. Doc, I'm sure you popped on Art Horn going toot though.
Always one of my favorite lines.
Yep.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot.
What I tell you? What I tell you? I want to start doing at work just to see if anybody notices. Is walk around and just go doot 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 and see if anybody says anything. What is he doing?
Dude, we work with some saps that just like Doc got hot today or not today, but this week at work because a couple of saps were talking about some of those Cincy candles, whatever the hell.
The scented candles?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. They were like, is that one of those Cincy? And I go, come again? And they were like, Cincy, looking at me like I was the fucking retard.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what you're saying. Is that a stipulation in some new Japanese match? I don't know what you're talking about. And so finally they explained it to me like I was the moron. And I just looked at him and I said, when y'all grow up, give me a call. And I walked off.
All right. Oh, man. So you see what you don't have to deal with, Hopper?
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. We got the next match after that Great Horseman promo is Ivan versus Rocky King. I got to tell y'all, this is a good competitive match. Rocky King is actually on a roll here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Rocky, Ivan gets the win. Harper, anything from that one?
This was fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it was.
And Rocky looked strong.
He sure did. He got a lot of offense, and
yeah.
I mean, he looked good. It goes back to what we said, man. This guy he was a heck of a talent, man. Probably could have done a lot more than what he did just as an enhancement talent, but he's definitely looked good. I told y'all about a worldwide I saw from about 6 months ago when I was going through him, where he worked with Flair, and really good competitive match with Flair on one of the worldwides. Doc, what did you have from it?
I also thought it was a really good match. We know Ivan's been very, very generous with with his opponent's offense. Pat Tanaka got some in on him a while back. He just, he'll let the other guy go because he's confident in himself. I thought Rocky did a good job because we haven't, on this show, we haven't seen him work in front of a larger crowd. I thought he had good psychology with the crowd. Too bad grabbing the Rock and Roll Express around paid more than Crockett did, or maybe he could have been a bigger star.
That's insane, isn't it?
I know, huh?
That's insane, man.
And he probably got some of the leftover white bitches that Ricky and
Robinson...
come on.
What?
Come on, bruh.
What?
You know what your jokes are?
They're
they're just lame.
They're for the Docaholics.
Docaholics, of course. All right. Okay, well, we can
What's
keep
that, Blue Kate or Kate Blue? Or
B-Lou, dog, B-Lou.
Yeah, that guy.
He hollered at me today, man. He wanted to know
Really?
what we were going to do with the Bluegrass Brawl on this.
We'll
on the
do
Smoky
what we
Mountain
want to
show.
do. How about that?
Oh, yeah, of course we will. Okay. Let's keep it moving. They go from that match to a recap. It's a recap of the hair versus hair match with Jimmy Valiant versus Shaska. Valiant gets busted open during the match, but Paul Jones's Army, they try to interfere, but it doesn't work for them. Valiant gets the win, and they show Pez getting his head shaved. How the hell they shaved his head so cleanly with it being soaking wet is a miracle. I mean,
huh?
That was like as I rewatched it, I was like, damn, man, how did they do that? But after months of this thing, this bald-headed geek angle, the fans are going nuts. Pez gets his head shaved, and I don't know. This to me has a good payoff. Doc threw it to Hopper first last time. You go first.
I thought it was a good payoff, too, and I enjoyed it, and it was obviously something I knew was going to happen. I just didn't know when. But my note was, incidentally, much like yours, you guys think Boogie knew how to safely shave sweaty black hair?
I don't know if the race had anything to do with it as much as Boogie being wired on some of that Breaking Bad crystal meth in the ring wrestling, and then after a match gonna shave too. That one would have scared me more than anything. But I will tell you this: I would trust what happened right here more than if you ever have seen the Cornette angle with him getting his head shaved in Mid-South with plastic Bic razors and shaving.
Oh, God.
It is. You can see the look in Corny's face when they're doing it, and he is literally petrified. And he's talked about it on his show. And I'm not pointing it out because we're friends with Corny. I'm pointing it out because Doc asked the question. This was much easier than if you've ever seen Corny get shaved.
Well, Mike, you shave your head, right?
Yeah.
So how is it to shave black hair?
Okay, Magnum TA is up next. Let me tell you what you remind. You know who you remind me of in the wrestling business?
In it.
Soul Glow. Doc, I got a soundbite for you. You know who you remind me of in the wrestling business?
I am the chosen one.
He broke 6,000 guitars, never drew a dime, but he thought he was the man. And he really thought in his little Tennessee brain that he was bigger and better and would draw more money than Hulk Hogan.
You know,
that's you, Doc.
First of all, that's a little sad considering the personal issues that Jeff Jarrett's dealing with right now. So from the BTT family, I hope that you get the help you need, Jeff. Second of all, the guy who's saying that and cracking wise put a shotgun in his mouth and blew his head off. So maybe he might want to calm down.
Who said that?
Mike Graham. And just like his daddy, instead of doing the Von Erich thing, maybe it should be called doing the Graham thing.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Bruh, what's wrong with you?
What?
You got mad because I called you out and said you never drew a dime, even though you broke 6,000 guitars on people, and you go off on Mike Graham. That's not nice, man. Shit. Okay, let's move on. Glad I got that out the way. I've been waiting. I was hoping you gave me an entryway to play that one. Anyway.
Well, and so you and I did have the discussion of whether or not Jeff Jarrett paid for rehab in Global Gold.
Whatever happened to that?
It's in
rehab. I think everything is on hold with him in rehab. But you know, he did say that Anthem was hemorrhaging money, and then the other side of Anthem is the Law radio podcast, and they just shut down operations.
Bruh.
So maybe we should listen to Jeff Jarrett a little bit there.
No, that's messed up. What happened with that? That's
Impact will, if you get around Impact Wrestling, it will fuck up your financial scene. It
will mess up your business, and I hate to say
we need to keep Impact Wrestling away from the stock market because I don't want to go broke.
Okay. We're going to keep moving. After the match where the hair versus hair, one thing that they did close on that, they said that next is Paul Jones versus Valiant in the hair versus hair match, so we'll see where that goes. But we got Magnum TA coming up, and he's going to cut a promo right here.
Bring in Magnum TA right now. Magnum, some people would say you're in a hole right now, the best of 7 series for that U.S. heavyweight title during the Great American Bash.
Well, obviously, Nikita Koloff has kept good his promise. He's done a whole lot of damage to me. There's not anything left to yell and scream about because my insides are so busted up that I don't feel like yelling and screaming anymore. But I like insurmountable odds. I like people to tell me that I can't do something, that there's something that I can't accomplish. Because Nikita is a whole long way before this thing will be over. You and I have met. You've caused me a whole lot of pain. Pain to me is inspirational. But let's find out what happens when it gets turned around. When you're begging for that next breath of air. When you don't know which way to turn. I'm coming back. You try to stop me, I wouldn't expect anything else. But you're not going to do it. The bashes are still going on. And until you put me down for the 4 matches, the belt's going to come back to me. I'll take you any way I can right here in the bash.
Let's go to the ring.
I'm losing. I don't know what else to say. I'm at a loss for words to describe Magnum's head.
Bruh.
God. You know what that looked like? It looked like if you got one of those broads branding irons curling irons that they put on their fucking hair and shit. It looks like he just burned himself across his forehead with one of those sons of bitches.
Yeah, close, but he's also got just rips in his head from a razor, obviously. It's
he has rips in general, plus this shit.
It's a disaster up there, pal.
I mean,
and he was still probably pulling, at the top end of the Rat Kingdom, he was pulling among the best.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm just
his head looked like that. Maybe his head looked like a used tampon.
I'm not trying to bag on Magnum here. I'm just like
I couldn't stop staring at his head.
Me either, because it's like it's just. It's not that it's well, yeah. I guess it is worse than we've seen, but it's just like,
fuck yeah.
It doesn't look like
consistently bad though.
God,
Yeah.
it's just
It doesn't heal up. I bet it still looks like that to this day.
Put some Vaseline on that shit or something, man.
I think he had Vaseline on it because it was kind of shiny.
Stop getting your head cut off.
Jesus, man. But you know what? That goes back to what Arn said. He was. I think he talked about the '86 bash on that podcast that time. I think it was a 2-man power trip when he said, we bled to death. Well, yeah, we see it from Magnum's head, Arn. I mean, just, okay. Promo-wise, I thought it was good. I didn't have anything else from it. I mean, he was good. He made his point. He didn't scream too much, although he just did raise his voice a little. Doc, did you have anything else?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, he's an effective promo, so
yeah,
that was an effective promo.
Harbor, you?
I just couldn't stop looking at his fucking head. Because it always looks bad to begin with, but he took it to a level where, like, if someone just saw him walking around, they would stop and stare at his fucking head.
Yeah, you know he couldn't go anywhere without people going, what happened to that guy? I mean, it looks like a combination
and then he would bang their girlfriend.
Doc's right. It looks like he just took a curling iron and just stuck it to his head and didn't move it. And then it looks like somebody took sandpaper and like rubbed it into it. And then it looks like he took a couple of blades to it and just across. Whatever. Okay. After Magnum is Black Bart versus Ronnie Garvin. Now, normally you get these nothing matches on Saturday night. But again, this is not one. You know, Bart versus Garvin is something else. I stopped and wanted to see which one of these fools would get the best of each other. Halfway through, I tried to track it, but I want to say there really wasn't a bump until that point. Just two big hosses beating on each other. Garvin does stretch Bart, though, at one point. Puts him in one of his holes. But Bart drops a vicious leg drop on Garvin. That was brutal. Garvin does get busted open, but I think it was a previous blade job that it may have just kind of ripped open again. And Garvin uses the ropes, though, and gets the victory on Bart. The crowd erupts. Must have been non-title because the Mid-Atlantic title didn't change hands, and Bart's the Mid-Atlantic champ. Harper, your thoughts on this match? Because I actually texted you about this.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I thought Bart was gone, to be honest.
Man, he's holding a belt.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't seen him in forever, or shoot a promo, or fucking anything.
Where's Ron Bass?
He's in WWE at this time, huh?
I don't remember. I mean, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him since Starrcade, I believe.
Right.
We haven't seen him since Starrcade '85.
I love how he worked on his hand.
Yeah. It was
fucking psychology.
They beat the piss out of each other too, if you ask me. But Doc, what'd you have from it?
I like Ron Garvin matches a whole lot better when he's not just picking on people. I was I enjoyed this because it was like somebody was fighting back with him, and so that made it better. These matches are long as shit too. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, it's a change. It's like, what the hell, man? What just happened? Yeah, no, good stuff there. And like I said, the title doesn't change hands. So, but Garvin does win. There is some stuff at the end with Tully in the ring. I didn't really talk about that, but I'll leave it at that. You can see it if you have the network. I mean, So we'll move forward. So we got Dusty Rhodes coming up next. He's gonna cut a promo. Let's hear what Dusty's got to say.
Back on the Superstation, WGBS and World Championship Wrestling. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes and Baby Doll. Florida's favorite son comes home tonight after that World Heavyweight title at the Gator Bowl.
How come every time we come out here, Jim Cornette excuse himself from the premises? That's a fact, Jack. All Dusty Rhodes' attention now turns to the World's Heavyweight title. I ain't putting out nobody that's went against the Nature Boy Ric Flair for this whole year, let's say. But Ric Flair, you've been lucky. You went on skill, you went on agility, you went on that fire burning inside of you, now you're lucky. But on any given night, maybe tonight, Atlanta, Georgia. August the 2nd, Fulton County Stadium. Maybe the end to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the 2th high-paid athlete in this country today. Bar none. Bar none. Gonna do it to it. Dusty Rhodes, 2 times World Heavyweight Champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair, the plumber son from Austin, Texas. I might not look like a normal athlete's supposed to look. I might not can run 100 miles without taking a deep breath. I might not be able to leap a tall building at a single bound, but I have held the world's heavyweight title 2 times, not once. So you got to go to bed with them other things on your mind and clear it up, because about 4 o'clock in the morning you start thinking about Dusty Rhodes, and it lasts all day long. And Ole Anderson, I'm tired of you coming out here and saying in 1986, Dusty Rhodes gonna pack up his gear, throw his wrestling gear away, and put it aside. Let me tell you something, old man. I'm here for you. Jump on it and see how tough you really are.
Let's go to the ring, fans.
I know I'm not the only one of the 3 of us that when he said jump on it, I was like, Lord, please don't say when you get tired, I'll take over. It crossed my mind, though.
When Ricky Morton says there's not a whole lot I can do about you jumping on me, but there's a whole lot I can do about getting you off.
Ooh, what? Yahtzee.
All right. Yahtzee. Yahtzee.
I think he's going to say that in one of the Smoky Mountains that we're doing this Friday.
Oh, gee. Okay. All right.
Wow.
All right. Thoughts on the promo, Doc?
There were a couple of times when I was like, I don't know what he's saying there. That doesn't sound like English.
What's new? That Dusty does that a lot.
I
More than
don't know.
people realize.
Yeah. I don't know. He's ready to go try to win it for the 3rd time, man. How many people can say that? He seems ready to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
He kept saying Fulton County Stadium, though. I thought they were in the Gator Bowl. I'm confused.
Yeah. I got a little confused by that, too. Harper, what did you have from it?
He just said, look, I don't have to look like $1 million to fuck y'all up. I mean, that's what I got from it.
Yeah, so good old Dusty, and then he's bragging, talking about their pro athletes and the highest paid ones too.
And he called them Ole an old man, and I was wondering what's the age difference between him and Ole.
Google that, Doc, and I'm gonna go to the next sound bite that I've got.
Doing? What am I Googling? I was looking at something.
The what's the age difference between Dusty and Ole? Because
Okay.
Dusty called Ole an old man right there.
Yeah.
I forget.
I was like, wait,
ages.
he's probably close to his age.
So while Doc's doing that, and he's going to give us an answer in a second, we go to the next match. It's Mark Fleming versus T.J. Khan. During this match, Cornette and Schiavone talk about the upcoming bunkhouse match. And listen to what Cornette says here. Just listen to this quick soundbite. It's about 30 seconds.
A great bunkhouse match coming up as the Rock and Roll Express will team up with Dusty Rhodes to take on Ric Flair, Ole, and Arn Anderson. It just crosses my mind, what will the Rock and Roll Express wear in a bunkhouse match, huh? Reeboks and Izods? I'm sure they would wear the blue jeans and the big leather belts. Yeah, they couldn't even tote a big leather belt, much less put it on. The real men in that case are not the Rock and Roll Express. And I think we're going to find out that maybe the Rock and Roll just shouldn't get in those bunkhouse. Maybe they ought to get in a disco match, huh? Or a nightclub match or something like that, or a hair salon match. That's more their speed. And look at T.J. Khan.
He said Reeboks and Izods. That's what they're going to wear to the match.
And Izod. What was that?
Weren't those like jeans? Doc wore those stupid things.
What?
Those Izod jeans or whatever. It was like the
I thought Izods are the shirt, dude. With the little
I thought they were like
crocodile.
jeans too, like the little preppy boys wear.
No, those are you're thinking about the Granimals that your little low income Section 8 motherfucking ass used to
pal.
wear.
Nah, you got the wrong one, partner.
You used to run around in some tough skins because your mama couldn't afford another pair if you blew out the knee in that son of a bitch.
That's
all right,
nice.
You got an answer for us with Dusty and Ole?
Dusty was 3 years younger than Ole.
Yeah, he called him an old man.
Ole was born in 42. Dusty was born in 45. It's only true if they believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. All right. So, anything else from that soundbite, Doc? Before I move to the next one.
No, that T-Joe match was long, dude.
Yeah, it was. That soundbite was good though. After that, Cornette is now out, and I will tell you this much: I'm going to play it, but it's pretty mild compared to what he's been delivering. So here it is.
Fans, later on in the show on World Championship Wrestling, you will see for the World Tag Team title, the Road Warriors against the champions Midnight Express with Jim Cornette. And you mentioned the Road Warriors, good friends of Baby Doll.
Yeah, I mentioned the Road Warriors, good friends of Baby Dolls. And Baby Doll, you're trying to get all these friends of yours to get rid of me one way or another because you know I'm steaming down on you. You know I'm coming after you. And you know before the Great American Bash in July 1986 is over, maybe ending up on August the 2nd in Atlanta, Georgia, you know that I'm going to have your number. You know that I'm going to make good on all the promises that I made, and I'm going to get rid of you and get you out of professional wrestling. That's why you got the Road Warriors going after my champions at Midnight Express tonight, trying to take away their titles, trying to embarrass me, maybe try to get to me physically. You got the Rock and Roll Express waiting in the background. You got Dusty Rhodes, your American Dream, and your America's Heartthrob Magnum TA. You got them waiting, and this big goofy warlord with the butchered up haircut. Well, let me tell you something, darling. I got the indestructible Bubba Rogers, my personal bodyguard, standing right behind me at all times. He don't go anywhere without me, and I don't go anywhere without him. And he's taking real good care of me all during Bash season, so nothing happens to me, so that I can get in the ring and beat your brains out. And the Midnight Express, my World Tag Team Champions, they're not going to lose those belts to the Road Warriors. They're not going to lose those belts to anybody. They're going to be champions from now until doomsday, until the crack of doom when we decide to retire, and there's nothing that you or your dummy friends can do about it. And they're going to be my partners in those matches, Baby Doll. So they're going to make sure that whoever you have teamed up with you, whatever kind of degenerates that you have in the ring with you, they're not going to get to me. They're going to take care of all your friends so that I will finally be able to put my tights on and you put your tights on, and we'll meet in the center of that ring, and we're going to find out just who's the better man. Or excuse me, I should say we're going to find out that I'm the better man and you are nothing but a mere woman at the Great American Bash. Before it's over, Baby Doll, you're going to be mine.
You know the sad part about that? You couldn't even cut that promo nowadays. He was toned down, talking about I'm sorry, not
a mere woman.
Right. He didn't even say anything bad. I mean, that couldn't make air today. Probably somebody would be like, oh no, we can't put that on air. That's Harper, anything else you had from that?
That just seemed like kind of a more calmed down version of him.
No shit. Yeah.
And he didn't call her like a big fat cow or nothing. He just she's a mere woman.
Yeah. Much more toned.
I miss his fat jokes.
Oh man, his fat jokes. Corny's fat jokes are great. Doc, you had anything from Corny right there?
I don't think there was anything that was just outrageous, but you try talking that fast on television like that, cutting a promo, and see how well it goes. I mean, it's just again, his normal is better than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Fast. So there you go.
Yeah, you're damn right. So I agree. Next up is the Rock and Roll Express, and I'm going to play it. I found this funny. Here it is.
Back with you, fans, our World Championship Wrestling, bringing in the Rock and Roll Express. Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton. Not only are there 7 bashes yet to go, still to come in August, the Rock and Roll Express Super Summer Sizzler Tour.
That's right, Tony. The bashes are getting hot. Coming up in Fayetteville. Ric Flair, you got to face me right there, Sonny boy. Right there, Tony. You might not be the world's heavyweight champion. Then we got Baby Doll. She's going to team up with the Rock and Roll Express, and we're going to derail the Midnight Express. And Jimmy Cornette, Baby Doll's got a lot to pay back to you, baby.
That's right, Tony. Right when we're stuck right in the middle of the thick of things. Right in the middle of the bash is the greatest thing that's ever happened to the Rock and Roll Express. And when it ends up in Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, that's when the Rock and Roll Express Super Summer Sizzling Tour begins. And brother, I'm telling you, Robert, we're going to have ourselves a good time right now during the bashes and when it's over. All summer long, baby. So be ready and hold on tight because things are exploding like dynamite. Now, let me tell you something, Tony. Mr. Flair has found out that the Rock and Roll Express is just as much man as you are, Mr. Flair. And you know that deep in your heart. No matter what your words might say, you know that we're just as tough as you are. In the Midnight Express, Robert, like you said earlier, with Baby Doll.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Cornette, your mouth has wrote a check that the Midnight Express Express, and Big Bubba can't cash. So you be ready, brother. Right here, we're going to come to get down with the Andersons. We don't care who it is. Like I said before, when you speak of the best, you speak of the Rock and Roll Express. And all these nice people are right here behind us. Woo!
Let's go to the ring, fans.
Okay, all that they said was, we can't wait for the Summer Sizzling tour to start so we can, really kick the rat banging into hyperdrive. Doc, did I miss anything there?
Yeah, and we'll give our leftovers to Rocky King.
It's so bad. Harper, what did you get from that?
It just seemed like kind of a little basic promo from him, short and sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. All right. Pretty basic, like you said. So
right
after that is Wahoo versus Tully. I don't have the timestamp, and I'm kicking myself for not writing this down. Cornette says on commentary, Wahoo must have sent Indian relations back 100 years, and that being an Indian is equivalent to being the nicest guy in prison. Then Corny says he's a typical wild and crazy Indian. This just amazes me. Like, I already know what you could get away with back then, but this shit was so good. The stuff you could say back in the day was just so great. And I don't mean that disrespectful to Native Americans, but just what Corny said here was so awesome. Doc, I'm going to let you talk about that, and then I'll talk about the rest of the match, and then I'll throw it to Harper, too.
If heels can't be despicable people, what makes them heels? Mike wouldn't get mad if they were talking about black people.
I'm just the type of dude that in wrestling, heat is heat. Push the envelope. Just keep going.
Man, it's pretty... the lines that I'll draw for what I don't want to see are pretty far. And if you're clever about it so that not all the kids catch on immediately, you can go even further with it. Because think about how much of this shit went over our heads when we were watching as a kid. So you can be clever with it. I mean, you can't get out there and spin somebody with your dick. If my kid sees that, I gotta explain it to him. But if you're smart about how you do it and be despicable,
yeah, different story.
Okay, I don't hate on women, hate on race, different people with different racial things. That's what makes them bad people and makes them you want to cheer against them. This shit, it ain't that fucking hard.
It sure ain't. Harper, you catch that from Cornette with the Indian?
Yeah, and he called him a redskin, which back then you wouldn't have thought any. Yeah, okay, it's a football team.
Which still is a football team.
Yeah, that's like calling him a Cleveland Brown or or a Philadelphia freaking Eagle. It's just all right. You call them a redskin.
Yeah, that's true. Even though they're the Washington Redskins, there's a lot of people who don't even say that when they're talking about the Redskins anymore or Washington. They'll just say Washington.
Yeah.
They won't even say, like, I don't know if you pay attention next time you listen to Sports Center or something.
I told you can't sit Indian style at school, pal.
Me and my wife
say Indian.
You're right. Me and my wife had that discussion today. We were talking about that, how we were talking about crisscross applesauce and how like it's just, it's not that I'm insensitive to the term. It's just that I grew up people saying sit Indian style. I didn't even think anything of it until I got older. Anyway, all right. Crisscross applesauce. Yeah. So we move. I pop because I know Doc's kid and I can see him looking up at Doc going, it's crisscross applesauce.
Try to book my territory like I'm the fucking idiot here.
Right. So, okay. So the match, as far as this match goes, Wahoo and Tully, man, God bless Tully. He took some hellacious chops from the Big Chief right there. As always, J.J. Dillon is out there. There are some shenanigans. Tully gets caught, basically with his hand in a cookie jar and is DQ'd. Wahoo wins, but of course Tully retains the belt. Garvin comes out to assist Wahoo, but Tully puts a slingshot on Garvin after the match. Key here is Tully retains. Cornette claimed a fan threw the gimmick into the ring, and that's Tully shouldn't have been DQ'd. Doc, your thoughts on the match?
We've been talking about Wahoo, but boy, he was over here.
Yeah.
Amen.
And then I thought Tully and JJ were just, especially JJ was just awesome at the end of the match, just flopping around and doing their thing and trying to hide stuff and all that. Just guys who understand good timing and how to tell a story for 8,000 people.
Nailed it. Harper, anything from you?
Yeah, this match was really, really fun to watch, and the crowd was really into it. And I kept thinking what it must have been like in '86 to watch this, because all these matches were fucking great. I mean, this was like watching a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was like watching a pay-per-view on fucking TV instead of the same old shit.
This is like just their house show tour.
Right. And I guess they showed this to get people to come out and be like, dude, look how badass this shit is. We got to go see this.
They probably did it after the initial ticket sales reports came in from the bashes, and they started fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
Well, this arena's packed, so I mean.
Yes.
But you're right, man. I mean, think about what you have on this card, and we'll talk about this when we start doing Rolexes and ratings. But you got Wahoo and Tully.
And we still got some more to go.
Right,
buddy.
We had Black Bart and Ronnie Garvin. We had a recap of the Hair versus Hair. We had Ivan and Rocky King. Man, we're rolling on this episode, man. They put some good stuff together out there. I mean, the only thing we ain't seen, I mean, we haven't seen Rick and Arn, but you know, it's rolling here. All right. So after that is Nikita and Ivan. Let me ask a question, Doc. Did you have notes from Nikita's portion of this? Or was it mainly Ivan? Because I've got Ivan's timestamp queued up right now.
I have no notes on this because I stopped caring when he.
Yeah, me too. The only thing I have is Nikita looks fucking jacked up as hell.
He's jacked. Now, I'll play Ivan because it's not even a minute long when they throw it to him. Nikita talks for a minute and then Ivan talks for like 45 seconds. Here it is.
And Crusher, yeah. You know, Magnum TA, if this was a horse race between you and nephew Nikita, you'd be a couple lengths behind, coughing up the dust that Nikita was leaving. But this is not a horse race. This is wrestling. And yes, your ribs are hurt. Your whole body's hurt. You feel it. But I know you're a tough American. You can take it. You're a good fighter. You're a proud American. You're one of these Americans who believe that you can get up and come up from underneath and gain victory. But no, not this time. Yes, nephew Nikita is ahead in the best of 7 series. And he is going to be United States heavyweight champion. Nothing you can do about it. And Road Warriors, Jacksonville, Florida, Gator Ball, we're going to slap the paint off of you and send you out in the Pacific where you've been.
We'll be back on World Championship Wrestling right after this.
I thought that was very good.
Wrong ocean, pal.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Which is great because he's Russian. He shouldn't. Why would he know?
Right. It plays into it. I thought it was good from the start. He's like, if this was a horse race, you'd be a couple of lengths behind, kicking up, breathing in dust.
It was good.
Yeah. Oh, man. Ivan's always on it. Harper, did you have anything else?
It was. Without him, fucking Nikita would be nothing.
Yeah.
It'd be without him, it'd be the Warlord.
Yes. Or the Barbarian.
You can see Nikita's starting to get jacked up right here, though, man. You can see it. He's starting to pack on the beef, man. He's starting to put it on. After that promo is Sam Houston versus George South. Houston wins with the Bulldog. I don't even have a timestamp, but I think it was pretty quick. Then they throw it to a promo, and how the hell do I not have the timestamp on this? Actually, it was a match. I'm sorry, I got a label wrong. Midnight Express versus the Road Warriors. Look, I know the Midnights are the champs, but if I'm them, I don't want no part of the Road Warriors. Like, you know, Cornette is overheard telling Condrey, look, they're stupid, big, dumb weightlifters. They can be outsmarted and outrun. Well, after he says that, Condrey pile drives Hawk, and Hawk just sits up and gets right up from it. Like, they're a few minutes into this, and I know this capacity crowd was thinking, Warriors are going to beat these bastards and win these titles. 10 minutes in, finally, Hawk finally takes a bump, and then Condrey blasts Hawk with Cornette's racket. Hawk finally makes a hot tag to Animal, who comes in on fire, but Tommy Young DQs the Midnight Express because Cornette uses the racket, and Young sees it this time. Let me stop right there because there's some shenanigans that happen after that. I want to get Harper's thoughts on the match first.
They were perfect heels.
So great.
They were perfect heels because they tried everything. They fucking give him a pile driver. We got him, right? Nope. He just jumps right back up. They tried everything, and it didn't work, so it forced them to cheat. That's what makes a heel.
They threw everything at them but the kitchen sink.
So it forced them to cheat.
Yep.
They didn't just cheat because they're assholes. They cheated because they had to win.
No choice. That was the only way they were going to get out of it.
Yeah. All the other options were fucking gone.
Oh, dude, it was so good. Doc, your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, the Midnights came out second, so that's just wrong. They're the champs, and I don't give a shit who you are. If the Road Warriors need their entrance, that ain't right. So the champs come out last.
You mean they came out first?
Midnights came out first.
Okay, you said they came out second. Go ahead.
The Midnights came out first, and that's wrong.
Okay.
Second of all, Road Warriors are as over as the rock and roll is, dude.
Yes.
They're great.
And then you start talking about everything you guys started talking about. When Hawk got pole driven, at first I was like, man, it's a little early to be pole driving. So, holy shit, he got up. Run, Bobby. Run. Get out of there. Go. They don't know that this isn't work. You've made them mad. And, dude, then I had a thought.
Okay.
Because then I was watching. So here's my note for you guys. I was watching Condry. And this show's called Booking the Territory. So let's talk about what would have happened if. What if what if Dennis Condry and Bobby Eaton had rolled on the set to Smoky Mountain and told Jim Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies, told the Heavenly Bodies, y'all aren't the originals, we are. And there would have been a feud instead of the stud stable between Eaton and Condry and the Heavenly Bodies.
Gosh.
That would be fuck.
That's some fantasy booking. That's some serious fantasy
booking.
And
the reason I thought about that is they kind of did that with Eaton coming in, and Stan Lane was kind of going back and forth. But man, when you watch, and it's nothing against Stan Lane, who's fantastic. I mean, I know, Mike, you said some things this week on Personal I Am that you're not as big a fan of Stan Lane as I am.
That's not true. You said it was. That's what you said. I love Stan. I think Stan added something to the Midnight. Stan was in a way better than Condry because he could talk. Stan could talk.
You don't need him to talk if you got Jim Cornette, pal.
I didn't say you need. I'm just saying Stan could talk.
But I don't know. I was watching that and I just thought these guys understand how to be heel champs in a wrestling promotion. And I just wonder what would have happened if that shit would have been in Smoky Mountain too. So that's my thought. This thing was great. I don't care if we didn't get a finish or not. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. I don't care. I was just happy to see what I saw.
Yeah, so I agree. And so we go to the we didn't get a finish. I mean, Tommy Young DQs at midnight, like I was saying.
Hey, if you watched enough wrestling in the 80s, you know that finishes are kind of overrated.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We never saw finishes unless it was enhancement talent matches.
Right.
Like, the whole seeing a finish on regular TV, that shit didn't pop off really until the Monday Night Wars, kind of. If you really, I mean, maybe a little bit before that, but we never saw finishes.
Back then you could still send people home happy as long as they won, even if it was by DQ.
Right. Now you got to finish. I mean, it's like you see a finish every single Monday or Tuesday now, so what the hell makes the pay-per-view so special?
Right.
And you're giving me 5 hours already. What do I need 3 more for? Give me an hour a week, and then I'll be fucking jonesing like a crack fiend for that 3-hour pay-per-view once a month. Anyway, okay, so let's get into what happened here. So there's this thing. Cornette's running around the ring, trying to get away from Ellering. Baby Doll comes out too, though, as Cornette is running around the ring, and Baby Doll potatoes Corny in the back of the head. And crowd goes nuts. Now, before y'all comment, I got about a 45-second soundbite from it. I'm going to play for it right here of what goes down.
Chasing Cornette around the ring. Cornette's in trouble. Oh, Baby Doll with a right hand out of nowhere. Knocks Cornette right onto the floor. Baby Doll came out of nowhere.
Do y'all hear that crowd?
Dude, you don't hear that anymore. That's over with.
Bruh. That's insane, the crowd just now. They're literally screaming at the top of their lungs. And then Doc, I know you know what I'm talking about. They go to that wide shot, like where you can see it all, and the fans, they're just losing their minds. They're going crazy.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Doc, what do you think about all that?
I think she's lucky she didn't break her hand on the back of his head.
Did you see Cornette's head just jolt, though, when she popped?
Yes.
Have you ever taken a punch to the back of the head?
Yes.
You see stars.
I've been in some scraps, pal.
You see stars.
I'm from the streets.
Dude, I know Corny felt he had to have a concussion. She got him. She got him. She clocked him. That's for all them fat jokes. She got him. Woo! All right, Doc, keep going. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Harper, you?
I love when she hits him, then she just like leaves.
Oh, hell
she
yeah.
Just runs. She just runs.
She threw her brick and she was getting to hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so after that all happens, they come back, they go to break, they come back, and now we got the Road Warriors, Ellering, and Baby Doll, and here they are cutting their promo.
Here they are, Baby Doll and the Road Warriors.
Tony Schiavone, what you just seen is the Road Warriors whip the so-called world champion Midnight Express. I ain't got much to say. All these people here know we're the world champs. Know something, Tony Schiavone? We got Baby Doll and our partner and a couple of these great American bastards, Midnight Express, and especially you little weasel, Cornette. You're going down, and let me tell you something. Whether it's the Coalhouse, Midnight Express, Cornette, and especially the Four Horsemen and Flair, you grab a hold of my brother or myself, and we'll let you know what it's like to feel the wrath of the Legion of Doom. Nice punch, Baby Doll. You know, Baby Doll, I got to congratulate you. That was one of the greatest shots I have ever seen. And the Road Warriors and the Legion of Doom are honored to take care of business, as Jimmy Cornette has proved to the whole world that he has a mouth big enough that he can stick a banana in sideways. Well, Jimmy Cornette, when it's all said and done, we're going to ask you, how does it feel to eat filet of sole? In other words, how does it feel to have your foot shoved down your throat because your mouth is so big your checks can't back up what you're saying, big boy? Tell him, Baby Doll.
You bet. You know, Cornette, you messed in my business just a little bit too much, and you found out what I'm really made of. During the bashes, I haven't quite gotten a hold of you like I really, really wanted to. But right here, you know, you did an injustice by sticking your nose in with the Road Warriors, and I thought it was my place. I was sitting in back watching the monitor, thought it was my place to come down. I had the perfect opportunity, and you saw what it was like to get hit by Baby Doll. You know, I know a lot more besides just hitting. You know, I've learned a couple of moves myself, so if you try and get away, darling, this track star is going to get after you. So, Cornette, you try and run. I'm going to be right behind it with this, darling.
Doc, your thoughts?
Why does she always sound like she has a stuffy nose?
I just think that might be how she speaks.
Her makeup wasn't good here either. She needed to blend
No.
in that cheap
Let
shit.
me tell you what was
call
going
that.
on here. That building don't have AC. It's humid up in that bitch. It's the middle of July. You can tell from her hair, the humidity in that building is off the chart. And you're going to say, how the hell do you know that? Because my wife complains about when it's humid all the time. So anyway, I guarantee you that's what it was. And I think she was trying to put a lot of makeup on to hide all the sweat because they were sweating bullets up in that bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how Shivani's got a suit on. I mean, he's got to be sweating bullets in it. So I think that's what you saw there.
Does Paul Ellering's promos leave more question marks over more heads than anybody else?
He's the. Why are you there?
Yeah,
they don't need you to get over.
No, he's there for he literally was their manager. Like that's what he did. So that's why he was there. So I mean, he served a purpose. I mean he had many years in the business by this point, but he truly did serve a purpose as their manager. I mean, imagine that it was a legit manager. So and everything JJ kind of did the same thing for his guys. So like they were legit managers. And when you're going town to town back then, you really did. It really did help when you had someone who could do that. So that's why he was there. So all right, we're gonna keep moving because right after all that, Cornette comes out, and Cornette. He's got an ice pack on the back of his head because he just got blasted. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Back on World Championship Wrestling, Jim Cornette co-host. I have nothing to say. You can explain this.
You better not give me that microphone. You better not say a word because I'm going to talk straight to Baby Doll because she just proved my point. Look at this tape right here. I'm running away from Paul Ellering, my man Bubba, trying to catch up to him. He's got Ellering. He's going to make sure Ellering don't do me any harm. Right there, he's got him blocked off when look, the back jumper, the backstabber, the low class, trashy, stinking, slimy scuzz. Baby Doll, that you are. You proved my point all along. You come in from behind, you hit me over the head with a brick. Look at the size of this ice pack. Let me tell you something right now, Baby Doll. The Road Warriors on the Rock and Roll and Dusty and Magnum. I don't care if you get King Kong and Godzilla to help you out because now, not only am I going to prove my point that no woman can beat a man except by jumping him from behind, not only am I going to beat your brains out, but now I'm coming after revenge, and you better believe I'm going to get it, you stinking scuzzbag.
Called her a stinking scuzzbag. Doc, you got anything else?
Sometimes you don't have to say all the words to really convey meaning. So if you call somebody that's what's always great about Austin. He'd call somebody a piece of trash. That's not cussing at him, but it's pretty low. You're calling somebody pretty low. The word scuzz does that too. You call a woman a scuzz. It's just there's so much imagery there without having to call her a cunt.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Right. No, you tell the truth. I mean, you said a lot there. You're on cable TV, so you can't really say that cunt. But even though they got away with a lot of stuff back then, he called her a scuzzbag. Hopper, anything from you on that?
I think he's pissed.
He's pissed, man. And when I'm watching it as I'm playing it back right here in slow motion. She popped the piss out of him in the back of the head, man. It's brutal. It's vicious, man. It's something else. All right, Doc, anything else before we keep going?
Nah, bruh.
Next match is the bunkhouse match they plugged earlier, and this is what they go off the air with the show on. It's Rock and Roll Express and Dusty versus Ole, Arn, and Rick. Crowd is going nuts, and they ain't even doing nothing but brawling. Morton is, slinging his boot like a Louisville Slugger and laying out Ole, Arn, and Rick. It's kind of incredible. Cornette is crying the whole match, saying his mama is going to be upset at Baby Doll. What Baby Doll did to him. He's literally whining. They go off air. This thing, because it started like 2 minutes left in the show, and it's just hitting the fan. Crowd's going crazy. Harper, did you have anything from this?
Bro, this was just some of the best shit I've seen in fucking quite some time.
Yeah, we got a mix of the promos and the good wrestling on this one.
Yeah. I mean, this was top of the line shit.
Well, look what you have here at the end. You got all Hall of Famers. Because they did put the Horsemen in the Hall, so, well, I don't know if Ole accepted, but whatever. You got basically a whole, your main event with nothing but Hall of Famers, WWE Hall of Famers right there. And
all the rules are fucking gone.
Yeah, hitting the fan. Doc, what'd you have from this?
I like how even in a bunkhouse match, Ric Flair won't wear jeans to the ring.
That's true, huh?
Styling and profiling, even in the most dangerous of situations.
It's too high class. It's true, man.
Because he was wearing his boots and
he
slacks.
He had his slacks. Didn't he have a white T-shirt on too, or a tee on?
It was like a pink, like, I don't know how to call that, but like it was a pullover, like a golf shirt, but like an '80s golf shirt.
Dude, did you see like when they're coming to the ring, the baby faces are fighting through the crowd?
Huh? People gave a shit. What an interesting concept.
And once again, it's packed to the gills, man. They are hanging from the rafters in this place. Oh, such a good episode. Well, I'm gonna just spoil things, on the episode. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's getting an A++ for me.
Yeah.
The Rolexes was real hard, but I'm going to throw it out there. The Road Warriors match with the Midnight was so good. I'm going to give it to the Warriors just because of how it all went down, but I mean, I could give the Rolex to so many people in this episode. It's incredible. Doc, who rate it and Rolex it for me?
A+, because I like wrestling.
Right.
I thought about giving myself the Rolex as an addition. I got so spoiled watching this, I decided I needed more presents, so I was about to give it to myself. Man, he probably got concussed while he was handling a heavy load. I'm probably going to have to keep giving these to Corny.
I think Corny did get concussed here. I would agree. Harper, Rolex and rating from you.
It's an A+, and the Midnight get the Rolex for making the Road Warriors fucking look like they're Superman.
That match was incredible.
Yes.
Now, you want to write down something that, like a classic match from just a regular TV episode back in the day? Watch that, because they went like 10 minutes, and they really didn't do a whole lot. It wasn't flips and dives, and nobody was... back flipping and moonsaulting and diving over the top. But
nobody got super kicked when the bell rang.
There you go. Just shot at the Young Bucks. Oh, man. You're going to run into them dudes one day, man. They might hurt you.
What are they going to do? Fake super kick me?
Jesus. Harper, you ever ran into them out there on the circuit anymore? Okay, I was just curious. I was just wondering. All right, man. This was a damn good episode, man. So good. So good. All right, everybody. Before we get over to Bobby Blaze, I do want to remind everyone, please use the Amazon referral link. It's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. Give it to your wives. Give it to your girlfriends. The holiday season is upon us. Give it to anyone in your family and say, hey, I love this podcast. They produce 2 shows a week. Every single Thursday, every single Sunday night. Please use this Amazon referral link. It won't cost you anything extra. Again, it's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. All right, what we're going to do now is, Doc and Harper, we're going to go to the close of the show. I'm sorry, we're going to go to Bobby Blaze, not the close of the show. Let's throw it over to Bobby Blaze out, and then we're going to come back. We'll close things out with Promo of the Week. And it's a good one, so make sure you stay tuned. I apologize for the audio with Bobby. We were having some connection issues, and then we had to go with Skype while we were recording it, and his Skype connection was not all that great. So it's a little bit of kind of like I don't even know how to explain it. Not even an echo.
Well, it's probably hard to get quality internet service in Kentucky.
Boy, Here we go. So let's go right now. I'm going to throw it over right now to Bobby Blaze, and then Harper, Doc, and I will be back with the Promo of the Week, which is a good one, on the close of the show. So Harper, hit the tagline and get us over to Bobby right now, talking Sonny Smoky Mountain debut and his Smoky Mountain debut.
Book it, bitch.